What's up YouTube, it's TCG here and welcome back to our TCG deck profile video on my channel. Today on the menu, one of the strongest decks after rotation, Dragapult Dusknoir. This is going to be a deck that doesn't lose that much with rotation, and we're going to be going into a full deck profile explaining every card in detail. So if you guys are hyped for it, let me know by rocking the hell out of the like button, and also let me know which deck you want to be seeing up next in a deck profile video down below in the comment section. Without further ado, let's start off by saying that Dragapult is still very good after rotation. So if you have been playing it in the previous format, you're gonna have a great time. The deck doesn't change that much. So we have Dragapult EX here with the Phantom Dive, 200 to the active, and then 6 damage counters on your opponent's bench Pokemon in any way that you like. So very strong, spreading up damage output so you can actually get multiple KOs at one point is very good. And this actually is an archetype also paired up with Dusknoir, so you can bench wipe an entire field, which is kind of crazy. You might think what happens after rotation? Well, glad you asked. We're gonna have actually a weakness. You see here no weakness, but because of Lillie's Clefairy EX, you will be able to get one-shotted quite easily. So there's that, but the good news is that you will be able to respond quite easily, as Lillie's Clefairy can get one-shotted by Dragapult. So, alright, here we have the 3 copies of Dragapult EX. Next up, we're gonna have Drakloak. Very good, because Drakloak is a stage 1 Pokemon coming back with a very strong ability, the Reckon Directive, allowing you to take a look at the top 2 cards of your deck, choose one to put in the hand, and the other one goes down to the bottom of the deck. So you can cycle to the deck quite easily with Drakloak, and we're also playing TM Evo, so having a couple of these guys out is very nice. Definitely if you get Iono to a low hand size, you can actually get back to a reasonable hand size because of the Reckon Directive, and also search for the winning strategy combo. Alright, next up is going to be 4 copies of the Dreepy. That's right, Dreepy, you need that in order to evolve into your Dragapult EX eventually. So 4 copies, so it's a 4-4-3 line, a very thick Dragapult EX line. Next up is going to be Dusknoir. Dusknoir is a very cool Pokemon as it comes back with the Curse Blast. You're going to be able to blow up Dusknoir and give the opponent a prize card. In return, you can put 13 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. The cool news is that this list actually is playing a whole lot of counter catchers, so that's very powerful. So you can abuse Dusknoir, blow it up, and then you are behind in prize cards, and you can actually counter catch until your heart's content. So 2 copies of the Dusknoir. As mentioned, you can also bench wipe an entire field if you go for the Phantom Dive in combination with that Curse Blast. Moving forward, we're also gonna have 1 copy of the Dusclops. A good thing is that if you blow up a Dusclops, it's the same thing as a Dusknoir, so it can actually trigger counter catcher, but also you can put 5 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. You can also get these guys back quite easily with the nice stretchers that are also in this 60. And then 2 copies of the Duskull to finish off the ghostly Dusknoir line. So it's a 2-1-2 line to get them out. We're also playing 2 copies of Rare Candy. So and specific high rolling moments, you could have Candy Dusknoir into Candy Dragapult. Doesn't happen that often, but it can definitely happen on the second turn. So high rolling is definitely possible with this deck. If you are not high rolling, whatever, we also have Budew, the item locking maniac with Itchy Pollen. You slap 10 damage, and during the opponent's next turn, they cannot play any item cards from their hand. What does this mean? No rare candies, no Buddy Poffins, no Ultra Ball, no Nest Ball, all of that, all blocked off, which is very powerful. So you can just slow the opponent down while you have your Gracie set up with your Drakloaks, and then you can bench wipe eventually. So very strong. Definitely recommend 2 copies of the Budew in this 60. Next up is going to be Fezandipiti, you know it, and every single deck out there that we currently have, this little fella here, because you can allow yourself to draw 3 cards if the opponent knocked you out during their last turn. So you have some additional ways to get some combo pieces going, and drawing cards is always good. If you get Iono and knocked out, you can go for the Fezandipiti and go with that. And then we have 1 powerhouse here. It's going to be the Bloodmoon Ursaluna EX. Allowing you to slap 240 damage output, also triggering that with Dusknoir is very good, or Dusclops, to make sure the opponent has taken a lot of prize cards, and then you can actually attack for just a single energy sometimes, and that's very good to finish off Pokemon that have a higher HP than 200. So very big fan of the Bloodmoon in the 60 as well. Okay, moving forward, let's talk about the supporters, shall we? We are currently playing 4 copies of Arven. It is the best card to have, and I always recommend going second with this deck. not only can you get a turn 1 item lock off, you also have access to all of your supporters, and Arven is very strong, allowing you to actually get those Buddy Poffins on the early couple of turns, and also go for TM Evo if you don't want to item lock. There's at least that you can do. So 4 copies of Arven. There's also other tool cards in here, like the Rescue Board as well as the Defiance Band. So there are definitely some options which you can make Arven into a very crazy card. And then 4 copies of Iono. This is a streamlined list, not anything spicy whatsoever. So 4 copies of Iono is also a draw supporter besides your Arven. Arven can get your setup going with Buddy Poffin and TM Evo, and Iono can just make sure you can cycle through new hands so you can find your combo pieces. Iono paired up with the Drakloak and the Reckon Directive will allow you to get a lot of cards for sure. And also putting the opponent to a low hand size while you item lock is also a very crazy strategy. Then a couple of one-off supporters. We have Crispin, allowing you to accelerate an energy from deck and get the other energy. Very good for Dragapult. In this 60, we're actually not playing any Sparkling Crystals, so that's gonna be... we're gonna be playing a different ace-pack card. You're gonna see that in a bit. And then there's also Brock's scouting a new card from the Journey Together set. You can either get 2 basic Pokemon or you can get yourself an evolution Pokemon. So a little bit similar to the lands that were previously in the deck, but lands has rotated, so Brock can help out with that. And then there is 1 copy of Boss's Orders. 1 should be enough, as mentioned, because we blow up Dusknoirs and we have a whole army of counter catchers at our disposal. Alright, continuing on, let's talk about the item cards in the deck. 4 copies of Buddy Poffin in this 60, just so you can get your setup going. As mentioned, I always recommend you to go second, so you can find those Buddy Poffins quite easily with Arven, as we are actually not playing any copy of Nazball. Instead, we're just going for a higher amount of Ultra Ball, so 3 Ultra Ball and 4 Buddy Poffins should be enough. As mentioned, you can slow the opponent down with the Budew, so you can have Reckon Directive, and you can cycle through your deck with a high amount of Iono, and at one point you will have your setup. So the Nazballs, you might think about adding in 1 or 2, but currently this is the 60 we're rocking with Post Rotation. Moving forward. 2 copies of Rare Candy. These are very important. There's only 2 of them in there, but if you have them, oh wow, they are very powerful. You can go Candy Drakapult EX, Candy Duscnoir, so they're having their usage, and you can also get them quite easily through the means of Arven. The reason why there's not more candies in here because Budews are around in other decks as well, and this sometimes you can just cheese out games by using turn 1 Budew, and then the opponent doesn't find any more Pokemon and you bench wipe them. It's very cool for sure. So as you see, not a lot of things have changed for this 60. Now we're going to be playing 3 copies of Counter Catcher. If you're behind, you can actually gust up an opponent's Pokemon from the bench all the way to the active position. That's why we only play 1 copy of Boss. I wouldn't mind you if you add in a 2nd copy of Boss, but I find it to be very good to play from behind, blow everything up, and take all your prizes at once. That's definitely something you could do with the Dusknoir Dragapult combo right there. So falling behind with this deck is actually not bad at all. We have 2 copies of Night Stretcher. Get yourself a Dusclops back, a Dusknoir back, an Energy back as well. So we have the flexibility of getting out these guys. So that's very good from the discard pile. Then a couple of one-off item cards. We have Earthen Vessel to find ourselves the energies. We have Switch. Sometimes you could be trapped in the active position, definitely with stuff like the Bloodmoon Ursaluna, so 1 copy of Switch is very good. And then, the Unfair Stamp. This is going to be a card that is going to be game-changing. You can use it as soon as you go down. That's why I also recommend going second. If you get knocked out, bam, slap this down. The opponent only gets 2 cards. You have a fresh hand of 5, and the opponent will be at a low hand size. Either you go for another Budew or you just bench wipe them in combination with the Unfair Stamp. So that's why I think it is very strong in the Dragapult Dusknoir deck. Okay, now we're gonna have some tool cards, and by a couple, I mean a couple, right? Look at that. We have TM Evo, allowing you to instantly evolve into Drakloaks if you use the TM evolution. It doesn't happen always because you have Earthen Vessel and your 6 amount of energies, but if you don't have an energy, you can always go for the Budew to just slow the opponent down as well. So, but TM Evo, if you get it, is very good. Then Rescue Board allow you to get 1 retreat cost less. Could be very interesting because it can allow you to have free retreat with your Dreepies, so you can instantly go into a Budew. You can also have free retreat with your Fezandipiti and all that, so I think it's a very nice include, definitely because you have that many Arvens in the deck. This is a very good one, EXP share, definitely because Lost Vacuum has rotated. You can actually, if you put this on another Dragapult, if your first Dragapult goes down, the energy gets transferred onto this one. Could also be good if you want to have this onto your Bloodmoon Ursaluna. This could help you to attack with Bloodmoon Ursaluna a turn earlier when the opponent needs to go through either Dragapult EX or the Bloodmoon, and the XP share is on the Bloodmoon, so that can make things very interesting for sure. And then a Defiance Band, very good, because as mentioned, we're playing a lot from behind. If you get knocked out and if the opponent has more prize cards than you, actually, if they have less prize cards than you, then you can slap 30 additional damage output. Now that means a Phantom Dive could hit for 230, which is good to get bench hitters knocked out like Fezandipiti or even Teal Mask, Ogre Pawns and all that good stuff. So very good in the 60. Definitely in combination with Counter Catcher as well. And then these are the tool cards of the bunch. So you have a lot of versatility with this deck, so you can fetch them out through the means of Arven. Then the stadiums of choice, 2 copies of Artisan is probably the best stadium for the Dragapult deck for now. If there's ever a better stadium that gets released, maybe we can change that, but we no longer need any other stadium. We just want setup, and that's also the reason why we're not playing Nesballs, because we do have Artisan for our setup. And then the energies, quite easily, 3 copies of the Psychic Energy and 3 copies of the Fire Energy. This will last you to the game in total 6 energies, and you also can fetch them with Earthen Vessel if you find an Arven, and there's always the Night Stretcher to get them back if you happen to discard them. But yeah, this is the updated Dragapult EX Post Rotation. If you enjoyed this video, let me know by rocking the hell out of the like button. Helps out in many ways. I put a lot of time and effort into creating these deck profile videos, so it really helps out. As mentioned, let me know which deck you want to be seeing up next. We're exploring the Post Rotation format. We also did a deck profile on the updated Raging Bolt. We did the Melodic Fairy Giraffe Wall deck, and now Dragapult on the menu. So if you want to see anything else, let me know in the comments. Go crazy, and maybe I'll be able to make that video one day. Have yourself also a good blast. Have a great day, and go check out the sponsors. You're going to be able to get some percentages off. There is dragonshield.com for your sleeves, binders, and deck boxes. Use the coupon ZAPBLUES5 and get 5% off your order. TC Evolutions for your damage counters and ability tokens. You can get 10% off to get those sweet looking damage counters and the ability tokens. There is PokemonStore.com for your TCG Live code card needs. You can get 5% off with instant email delivery. Note is that illustration and secret rare cards cannot be crafted anymore in Pokemon TCG Live. So if you want to max and spice up your account, that is the place to go. And then cardmarket.com for European players, where you're able to buy and sell cards to people all across Europe. Use the referral name ZapBluesTCG to help support the channel. Have yourself a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.